Good afternoon. I want to welcome you to another segment of the Jermaine Brown Sports Talk Show. Today is Tuesday, October. I'm thinking it's February. It is October the 24th, 2023. Well, the NBA season is getting underway starting tonight, where you have a couple of games. You have the Lakers going up against the defending champions, the Denver Nuggets. And you also have the Phoenix Suns going up against the Golden State Warriors. And those two games is not the games why I'm talking about tonight. What I want to do is talk about a couple of things. Number one, I want to talk about the trade that Milwaukee made back about a month or so ago, where they ended up trading Drew Holiday, who's a pretty good guard for them, point guard for them, to bring in a Damian Lillard. Now, personally, I think that was a great trade for Milwaukee. Giannis put a lot of pressure on Milwaukee to not stand pat, thinking and being content that thinking that Giannis will just re-sign with them. Giannis wants to continue to compete for a championship, and so he made it clear that hey, the team got to be careful here, and so he put some pressure on them, and they listened, and they went and ended up trading for Damian Lillard, um, which I think was a great trade. And to me, there's a two-team race to the top at the East. It's going to be Milwaukee and Boston. To me, those are going to be the two top teams. Everyone else is going to be at best a distant third. I think that when the playoffs roll around, Miami might still be a factor, but for the most part, everyone else is a distant third outside of Boston and Milwaukee. So those are going to be the two teams. In the West, it's a convoluted group. I think Denver will ultimately be there. Um, and they're going to still, if they're healthy, they're going to still be really good. They're going to be hard to beat them if they're healthy. Phoenix will be a problem. The moves they made, you got to give them some credit. Um, those are going to be the two teams that I think in the West that might. And I think there's a clear separation after those two. I mean, the Lakers, I think, will be better this year, but I don't see them as no championship team. Golden State is Golden State. You can never discount them, but I don't see them as a championship team this year either. Um, the West is going to be packed. Let me put it that way. But there was yesterday, Giannis signed his deal where basically he extended his current contract, which was set to expire after next season, not after this season, but after the following season. It was set to expire, and he extended it for 3 more years. So basically, he'll be in Milwaukee for at least the next 4 years at minimum, or at minimum. And so there was some people who, like Brian Windhorst, who I'm a fan of, who questioned why Giannis signed the deal now and not waiting till the end of the season. Well, I'm going to explain to you, Wendy, why Giannis did the right thing. First of all, he asked the organization to not be content. So the organization went out and took on more debt by bringing in Damian Lillard because why? His contract is longer than that of Drew Holiday's. Drew, I think, only had like 1 year left on his deal before they would have had to make a decision. And now they got Damian Lillard, who has at least 4 more years on his deal. So basically, it's costing Milwaukee more money. And in basketball, listen, they're all making money. It's not like the NFL, but they're making money. But their money is made mostly overseas. And they're making great money overseas. Where the NFL makes their money more domestically, the NBA, the NHL, MLB, which is Major League Baseball, hockey, and basketball, they make most of their money overseas because the ratings are not nearly as good here in America for those sports. Um, Basketball would be a second one as far as ratings is concerned in this country, but basically their money is made overseas. Let's just keep it real. And notice that the NFL is trying to be global, but that's neat. When this discussion is not about the NFL, this is about basketball. And so all Giannis did to yesterday was reward Milwaukee for taking a shot. Now, there's no guarantee they're going to win no title. There's no guarantee it's going to work. But you can't fault Milwaukee for doing everything they could to help put Giannis in a position to win. Now, I just had that little slip of the tongue or that little faux pas when I mentioned LeBron James. Why is this important? Wendy, who follows LeBron James, he followed him since high school, so he knows the inner workings of how LeBron thinks. The Cavs did something very similar. They made moves to try to keep LeBron in Cleveland, keep him happy. And we're talking about LeBron's first stint in Cleveland when he first got drafted to 2009, when he decided to leave. And because now the team did everything they could, they went over the cap. I mean, listen, Dan Gilbert did what he could to try to bring a championship to LeBron. LeBron decided, you know what? No, I want to go and leave. And he decided to hook up with his buddy, Dwayne Wade, in Miami, which I still think to this day was a mistake. I'm going to just be really honest with you. Because why? When you call yourself the king is not supposed to go to somebody else's castle. The king is supposed to rule his own castle. Now, if you wasn't going to stay in Cleveland, which I, at the time, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, oh, LeBron should have stayed in Cleveland. I felt LeBron should have went to another place. New York, Chicago, not LA, because LA was ruled by Kobe at that point. New York, Chicago, you could have went to another city and still been the man. But you was never going to be the man in Miami, known as Wade County. Okay? Even though, Dwayne Wade was the man down in Miami. And so if you call yourself the king, you don't make a move like that. I'm sorry. That's just, to me, that's not a move that a real king makes. I'm going to just be really honest with you. A real king believes in ruling his own castle. It's just like, go back to the movie Coming to America, King Jaffe Joffer. Okay? Well, imagine somebody being over the king. So when he quit, and I know I'm on a tangent right now, but just follow me. When Prince Akeem wanted to marry the woman here from America, he says, well, who am I? These are the rules, these are the traditions. And his wife said, I thought you was the king. And she said this in front of other women. And the king, oh man, a man, bruised ego. You can't have the king can't be questioned. Well, the king was being questioned. So what does this have to do with Giannis? All Giannis did was say, listen, you did what I wanted you to do. You didn't stay pat. You went and got Damian Lillard. Now, it may work, it may not work, but what I'm going to do is reward you for your loyalty, for being loyal to me and trying to keep a championship team around me when it was easy to break this up. Because remember, Milwaukee just got new ownership. Okay? And so the new owners don't have no obligation to keep spending and stuff. They could just simply say, no, this is it. This is what we're committing to, and that's that. But they said, no, let's keep this going and let's keep Giannis happy. And so by trying to keep Giannis happy, all Giannis did was reward them for doing so. Yes, he could have waited till the end of the season to sign this deal. But here's the problem that Wendy didn't look at by waiting until the end of the year to sign this deal. What would have been the whole talking points in the media all year long? Is Giannis going to re-sign with Milwaukee? That talking point would have been there. That question would have been there all year long, which becomes what? A distraction And why have a distraction that's unnecessary? So all he did was say, okay, you did what I wanted you to do. It may work, it may not work, but at least I'm going to reward you by re-signing here. Because at the end of the day, unlike LeBron, Giannis really never had any intentions of leaving Milwaukee. LeBron, and listen, LeBron the man, LeBron the husband, LeBron the businessman. Give me 1 second. LeBron the man, LeBron the husband, LeBron the businessman. I love. I have a lot of respect for him. LeBron the basketball player, I can't stand him. LeBron is a vagabond. He can't stay in any one place for any real length of time. That's why he's always moving around. Now, I don't know if it's because of how he was raised growing up. I'm not going to get into that. That's for other people to talk about. But he's a vagabond. And for a guy who's supposed to be a king, he's never really the ruler of the castle. Except, why you think his best championship was really in Cleveland? It wasn't in Miami, and it certainly wasn't in LA when half the people, I mean, when you couldn't even have fans in the stands, and the season was halted after like February, March. It was halted until August, and the players didn't even want to play. So come on. I mean, if anything, that might be his most bogus championship, but this is not about that. What this is about is Giannis is rewarding Milwaukee for their loyalty. And at the end of the day, I'm going to give Giannis more credit for winning his one title than LeBron for winning his four. Because at the end of the day, he did it in his home with the team that drafted him. And he didn't have no quote unquote super team, no three superstars. He didn't have that. But yet he found a way. He did it the old-fashioned way. Giannis is one of those old-fashioned type players, those throwbacks. He doesn't believe in hanging out and training with all these other superstars. He believes in training himself. Because he's like this. Why train against a guy that I'm trying to beat? I'm trying to beat this guy. I'm not trying to team up with him. I'm not trying to train with him and be buddy buddies and chummy. He has what they call that throwback mentality, and that's why I'm always a fan of Giannis. And I'm rooting for him this year. I mean, I got nothing against Denver. I got nothing against Boston. I mean, I'm no fan of Boston, but I got nothing against them. But I am rooting for Giannis this year, hey, to win another chip. Because I appreciate the fact that, you know what? And even though there is no such thing as loyalty in sports or in business, and that is true, there is no such thing as loyalty anymore. At least he's a throwback to the old ways of, listen, you did what I asked you to do, so now I'm going to honor my word and resign here. Because Shannon Sharp asked Wendy a very important question on First Take. If this was LeBron, would LeBron if LeBron had a Damian Lillard, does he stay in Cleveland the first time? And Wendy's answer was very revealing. The answer would have still been no. So that means LeBron really, but yet Cleveland is basically his home team, because why? He's only like 30 miles or so from Cleveland. He's from Akron. Okay, and so if you listen to Wendy's answer told you everything. So I understood Wendy's mentality. Why did you have to commit now when you could have waited? See, because he follows LeBron. See, and LeBron don't believe in committing. LeBron believes in waiting. So LeBron is not he may be what you would call in NBA circles a commitment phobe. He doesn't commit to anything. It's like, okay, I'll decide when I'm ready to decide. And he keeps everybody on pins and needles waiting. The problem is, as you get older, people get more tired of it. Because why? You're no longer as valuable. And so, as LeBron, when you start seeing him get ready to exit the game, people are not going to be as kind to him. You can already see this coming. Giannis is looked at and built differently. The only thing that's holding Giannis back, and not really holding him back, but the media is really using it against him. He's not from here. He's not in America. He wasn't born and raised in America. He's Nigerian because his daddy's from Nigeria. Nigeria. You gotta be careful with that because it's Nigeria and Niger or Niger. But his dad is from Nigeria, but they moved to Greece. And Greece did not accept him until they knew, oh my God, he's going to be a basketball star. Now, all of a sudden, now they want to claim him as one of their own. Yeah, how convenient. You know, it is what it is. But this is not a rant about Greece or anything like that. It's just a point that I'm just bringing out. But no, I appreciate what Giannis did. And what he did was he took the narrative off the table that he might not resign. Now you can't go this season saying, is he going to re-sign with Milwaukee? And then people coming up with this, well, you know what? He might not re-sign with them. And people coming up with conspiracy theories. He took that all off the table. And that to me was smart because why? That's one less thing that he or the team has to answer for. And so to me, it was smart. He already knew, he knows how the media works. He knew what the media narrative was going to be before they even came up with it. Because yesterday, I think, was it either yesterday or today, was the deadline for signing your deal, an extension. After that, you have to wait till the end of the season. And if he would have waited till the end of the season, that whole question, that cloud would have been there the whole season. Will he re-sign with Milwaukee or will he not? Well, now he took that narrative off the table, and now the media is upset. Because why? He took that off the table. Because now he signed. Oh, well, look, Damian Lillard was in an entirely different situation. First of all, Damian Lillard was not happy in Portland. Okay? He just pretended like he was happy in Portland. That's why he should not have signed that deal a year ago. He knew he wasn't happy in Portland, but Damian Lillard was afraid of the backlash or was afraid of looking like, hey, he was leaving to go team up with somebody. So he did not want that. Instead of just doing what he felt was the best thing for him. Because I said a year ago, he should have requested to leave Portland. He should not have signed that extension. Because once you sign that extension, now you're stuck. And even if you do request a trade, the team, in a sense, holds the cards, not you. But what Giannis is saying is when he signed this deal, because he could have easily held, but he's saying that I'm interested in staying in Milwaukee. And that to me is a good thing. I want to thank you for watching another segment of the Jermaine Brown Sports Talk Show. Have a good evening.